Good afternoon, Madam Chairperson, members of the board, and Chief Executive Officer Adams. My name is Amanda McGuire, and I am here today to provide you with a brief presentation on a proposed housing task force for the County of San Bernardino. The purpose of the proposed task force is to create affordable housing and to provide aid for those that are currently homeless or at risk of homelessness and are also either veterans, those with mental health needs, or both. The organizations that will be involved are the San Bernardino County Department of Health, Behavioral Health, the San Bernardino County Department of Housing, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, the Veterans Affairs Office, and the Habitat for Humanity for Southern California. Each will have their own specific tasks that they are assigned, but the Department of Housing will be the lead on this task force, and there will be a memorandum of understanding between all parties. The Department of Housing's main purpose will be to be the referral source, and so if there is somebody who is homeless, they would be the ones to refer them to available housing units. If that individual also has mental health needs, they would be referred to the Department of Behavioral Health, where they would receive specialized needs based on their case, whether that's therapy, medication, or a combination of both. The Sheriff's Department, the purpose of that is they are the ones that are on the ground and could identify individuals in need of referral for any of the agencies involved. They would also be available to provide training to the different city police departments on proper protocol to handle individuals that they find and come across who are homeless or seem to have mental health concerns and they're in public, to refer them to the appropriate parties. The purpose of the Habitat for Humanity is to do fundraising and identify possible locations and buildings to be used for affordable housing and to be the ones to move forward with making these projects happen. So there are units available for these individuals. And lastly, the Veterans Affairs Department will be responsible to handle the cases of any of those identified who are also veterans to make sure that they are given all services they possibly need, whether that's just housing or assistance with getting a job to maintain that housing or therapy or anything at all that they could possibly need. In designing this task force, we look at some of our theorists from public administration, one of those being Simon, and the idea of unity of command. So the way this task force would be structured is there would be a member from each organization that would sit on a board, and this board would represent then each of their separate organizations. And as a member, they would be voted in to their seat by their own department, and they would be selected based on their specialty and experience and knowledge of their organization, which is something that Weber and Taylor in their theories decided was important, that jobs should be separated based on specialty, which is also the idea of this collaborative task force, is that each different organization is responsible for their separate portion based on their area of expertise, because you wouldn't refer someone who is homeless and also has mental health needs to the Habitat for Humanity for therapy for their mental health diagnosis, which is why we have them as a part of the team. In addition to that, we look at how the task force leadership would be structured. And for that, we look to theorists such as Follett. As I mentioned previously, this is a collaborative process, and not just with the members of the task force board, but in each organization itself. Those members that are involved in the task force are the staff. It's part of their regular job to handle these things, but this is additional work. And so you would want to make sure that the staff have buy-in on this, like Ardress would say. In order to be successful, they have to have a want to be a part of it, not an obligation to do so. And they should also take their ideas and be able to express them as a team and be collaborative like Follett would ask for. And finally, overall, the whole idea of the task force is to create not only more housing for these individuals, but a set of policies and procedures that would be written between each department so that the aid for these individuals can continue and remain in place. And the idea would be that these procedures and policies would remain in place until they are proven to need to be changed, which is one of Merton's theories, by the way. And then also, we looked at Katz and Kahn for organizational effectiveness, and that an organization can only be effective if it's open to adapting to changes as they occur. So each individual case that is going to come across the desks of these members of the task force is going to have different needs, and they need to be open to adapting their policies and procedures to be able to serve multiple individuals. Finally, for quality assurance, we look at Duran's method of plan, check, improve. We should plan to be quality. We should plan for quality, check for quality every step of the way, and to improve should quality not be met. We also are striving for total quality management by doing satisfaction surveys throughout the process, completed by those that are served within each department, completed by the staff of each organization to give their input as well, and finally for the community members who are affected by this homeless crisis. In conclusion, the proposed task force is a collaboration of specialized public sector organizations to provide housing and aid our homeless population who are also veterans and those that may be diagnosed with mental health needs. This will be done through a collaborative process with guidelines and quality assurance procedures over the next 3 years. Thank you very much for your time.